Hello, boys of plus 7. Welcome you to the online class of agriculture. I hope all of you are fine and doing very well with your study. Today we will revise chapter 4, lesson 5. We have already revised up to lesson 4 from chapter 4, and today we will give revise on chapter 4's lesson 5, that is good impact of climate and weather. So let us see good impact of weather and climate on crops production. Actually, crops production depends on climate and weather, because if weather and climate is not suitable for crops, then it shouldn't be very good production. Now let us know some impact of weather and climate on crops production. First of all, let us start with sunlight. Sunlight is an essential element, we know, because without sunlight, crops or trees cannot make their own food. So in that basis, sunlight is very necessary. And on basis of sunlight, or having how long sunlight or which plants grow well in sunlight, they are divided into two groups. One is light loving crops, another one is shadow loving crops. Light loving crops like maize and sugarcane, because the production in when there is a lot of sunlight, the production is good, and if the sunlight is less, then it should be good production of tea and coffee. So that's about sunlight. Now, on basis of day length sensitivity, crops are divided into three types. One is long day plant, that means crops which have more than 12 hours daylight, they are called long day crops, such as oush rice, ash gourd, sponge gourd, jute, snake gourd, etc. So after long day crops, we have short day crops, that means which crops has sunlight less than 12 hours, like wheat, mustard, almond rice, gimakulmi, Indian spinach, etc. Actually, short day crops basically winter crops, and long day crops basically summer crops, summer and rainy season crops basically. So that is the difference between long day crops and short day crops, because duration of sunlight is the main impact on these two crops. And third type crops, that is actually day neutral plants or crops which don't depend on day length or sunlight, that is like groundnut, banana, tomato. Like season neutral crops and day neutral plants are same. Then the second influence of weather, that is heat. We know plants can survive on heat. Crops can be divided into three groups which can survive on how much temperature, that is maximum, minimum, optimum. So this three temperature is actually known as cardinal temperature. On the basis of need of temperature, crops are divided into two types. They are cool season crops, that means they don't like that much heat, and there is hot season crops. At first, let us know about cool season crops. In cool season crops, the temperature should be low, but it has also three part, that means three temperature. One is maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and optimum temperature. So cool season crops maximum temperature is 31 to 37 degrees Celsius, minimum is 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, and optimum is 25 to 31 degrees Celsius. So for their growth, this temperature is very important. Now let us see the hot season crops. Crops which grow in high temperature is known as hot season crops, like jute, rubber, cassava. And this temperature is also divided into three parts. One is maximum temperature, one is minimum temperature, one is optimum temperature. Maximum temperature for hot season crops is 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, minimum temperature is 15 to 18 degrees Celsius, and optimum temperature is 31 to 37 degrees Celsius. So on base of heat, crops are divided into two types, cool and hot season crops. Now let us know about another impact of weather, that is rainfall, which is very necessary for crops production, because if there is no rain, then we have to give irrigation, artificial irrigation we have to manage. But if there is rainfall enough or sufficient, then the crops production is good. But over rainfall is also not good for, so we have to maintain the rainfall amount. That is why rainfall varies different crops and grow better in different places. Air current control respiration, pollination of flower and photosynthesis. So air current is also a good impact on crops production. And humidity is also vary for the crops production. Initial growth phase crops need high humidity, and low humidity can cause shrinkage on that grains or at granulation phase. So humidity is very much important for the crops production. Too much humidity is proves up the spread of diseases and insects. That means if it is very humidity is high, then there is a fear of spread disease and pest. Last but not least, effect of dew and fog. Sometimes favorable conditions are created for dew and fog for spreading diseases. So that is also very much important for crops production. So there's all about good impact of crops production from an impact from weather and climate. There's the element of weather and climate which has a great effect on crops production. So boys, I think this will help you a lot. Read it properly and go through the books. If you have any question from this topic, let me know in the comment section. Today we will stop here, and in the next class we will learn about the bad impact of weather and climate on crops production. That means what element or points that of weather that is creating hazards on crops production. We will know in the next class. Till then, I'm saying bye for today.